If you've been trying to lose stubborn belly fat, but you've been having a hard time, guys, listen. I know a lot of folks, they think about getting rid of belly fat as like just a vanity thing. They want to look good in their clothes. Guys want to look good in their suits. Both men and women, they want to go to the beach and to the pool and be proud about what people see, you know, and be happy about how their body looking. But there's way more to it than that, guys. There's a lot of people that don't realize how having belly fat is like a red flag. If you have a lot of belly fat, it's actually what we call visceral fat in the fitness and health space. Okay. And if you have a lot of visceral fat, that's a health concern. Okay. What I mean by that is there's plenty of people out here who are hitting me up on Instagram in the DMs, hitting me up on Facebook in the DMs, telling me that they're dealing with things like sleep apnea. They're dealing with things like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, you know, erectile dysfunction, things like this. And it's like, this is the real thing, y'all. Y'all, if you're dealing with those health concerns, you're tired all the time, dealing with brain fog, guys, it's the belly fat, man. You got to get rid of it because that fat that starts to wrap around your organs, that's visceral fat. It causes your testosterone to drop. It causes your estrogen to go up. That's why guys end up with man boobs when they gain a lot of belly fat. Okay? Even women start dealing with low libido. It makes it hard for you to sleep well, you know? Plus, not all people have sleep apnea because like some people think, oh, well, I'm not sleeping well. I may have sleep apnea. No, you could just be having some underlying health issues because you have a lot of belly fat. Okay. So, super important. I'm going to share with you some steps that you can start taking to fix these issues. Okay. Get rid of belly fat. Okay. That way you can have energy. That way you can feel confident about your image and about your future. Okay. Because this is super important for longevity. There's a lot of people who do really well in my program. Yeah, they want to get results fast, but they're also thinking about long term. They're like, man, I want to be around for my family. I want to be able to like still excel in my career 3, 5, 10 years from now. And so you got to start thinking longevity. You can't just be thinking short term. The people that I notice that think short term, and they're just thinking like, oh man, I just want to lose the weight. I just want to lose the stomach. The people who just have that mindset and mentality, they tend to struggle. And so, if you want to be able to get results and keep results long term, you have to start thinking longevity with your eating habits, longevity with your exercise habits. When you start thinking this way, guys, this is how you get results and you can keep them. Okay? And so, I know a couple of y'all have questions down below. Y'all are commenting. Once I finish up with the content, I'll answer. We can do like a little bit of a Q&A towards the end. Okay? But I'm gonna give you some actionable steps you can start taking today and this week to start getting results. Meaning, have a flat stomach or have abs. Because I've had coaching clients get both. Okay, and so here's the thing. First thing is this: nutrition. Most folks think they have to do tons of ab workouts. They think they got to do hours of cardio. But the people who get the best results, guys, and slim down their waistline, they got their nutrition on lock. It's like how they say abs are made in the kitchen. It's really just made with nutrition habits, the way that you eat. Okay. And so specifically, I'm talking specifically to like busy professionals. If you have a very demanding career, there's a way that you have to eat that's different than, just the everyday people who may do like a generic meal plan, cookie cutter meal plan. It may work for some people, but it's not going to work for you because you can't stick with it because your schedule is so demanding, right? And so, what we do differently, instead of doing crash diets, instead of giving up meat, giving up carbs, doing less than 1,000 calories a day, doing the all watermelon diet, I'm like, guys, stop doing that. That don't work. Like, yeah, people can get results, but they can't keep them. And so, if you want to be able to get results that are sustainable, you have to do something that you can realistically stick with. And this is why we do flexible nutrition. That means you're able to eat foods you prefer to eat, but still get the results. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about eating burgers and pizza every day. And if you guys doing that, I'm telling you, you're gonna end up with some other health issues. You're going to end up with hypertension, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. That's how people end up having those type of health concerns because of how they're eating. But you can still eat it with structure, okay? Because I eat these foods, but I just have structure around how frequently I eat them and how much of it I eat, okay? And so the people who get the best results, even though they're eating these foods, they know their calorie intake, they know their protein intake, they know their fiber and water intake. The people who are just kind of like, what I notice, people who reach out to me on Instagram and Facebook who are just kind of like, they're working out, they dieting, they like, man, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but the stomach ain't coming out. Like, what's going on, man? I feel like I done tried everything. That happens because they don't have structure. Because when I ask those people, hey man, how much calories you eat on a daily basis? How much protein do you eat on a daily basis? None of them know. They're just like, this is what I eat right here. I'm like, well, you gotta know how much of it you eating. Because if you don't know how much you're eating, you could be overeating on healthy food and gain weight, guys. You have, even if it's healthy food, you can overeat on healthy food and be obese. Hence, people who are vegetarians and vegans, you see these people who are vegans and vegetarians, like, how are they overweight? How is that possible? They're overeating. If you overconsume, like food, calories is just a metric of energy. That's all calories is. And if we overconsume on energy, we become bloated. And bloated looks like excess belly fat, man boobs, bigger arms, which are fat, fat legs. And so it's important to understand your calories. The same way you want to understand how much money you got in your bank account and how much money you're spending, this is just as important. Because some of y'all have children. And by having children, let's say you're overweight. There's a lot of people who reach out to me, they have kids, they have, families, but they can't even lead themselves. How can you lead a family if you can't lead yourself to be able to have a flat stomach and be, you know, clean bill of health? Not have to worry about type 2 diabetes and, you know, hypertension and things like that. If you're the type of person who is, you want to be able to lead by example. The type of people I notice that do the best in my program, they're not just doing it for image. They're doing it for longevity. They're doing it for legacy. They want to be able to give their best self to their family, but also lead by example and set a high standard for their family. Okay? And so it's important that you show up for yourself so that you can be there for the people you love and care about. Like, what do they say? If you get on a plane and you're getting ready, you're hanging out with you got your baby right next to you. Before you take off, that flight attendant gonna let you know, hey, listen, in the event something happened, put your mask on first. Because if something happened to you, you can't be there for them. That's how you got to start treating your body and your health. If something happens to your health, what happens to the people that you love and care about? Now you can't show up for them, even if you want to. So take care of you. That way you have something to pour into them. Okay? And a lot of that stems from nutrition. You want to lose belly fat? Make better choices with your nutrition. Okay? The second side of this is the training side. What I see from a lot of people who reach out to me, like they're working out, true enough. They're doing the cardio, they're doing some things in the gym, no structure. Like it's just like inconsistent. That's what I noticed. And the people who are really inconsistent with what they're doing, they're basically like winging it. And when you wing it, you get winging it results, guys. This is why over here we do something called lifestyle-based training. That way it supports your schedule. It supports your, demanding career. And so that way it's something that you can stick with. It's not just going to the gym and hoping you get results, hoping you're not wasting your time, doing some cookie cutter meal plan and workout, and you're like, I hope I get results. I hope I'm doing it right. No. What you're doing should compound. The same way as like for all my folks who over here get into the bag, you understand compounded interest, right? That's how it should be. Like my coaching clients, They drop 1 pound a week, 2 pounds, 3 pounds here. Some of them who are like really heavy, they may drop 4 or 5 pounds in a week. But week over week, they're continuously dropping. It compounds. And that's why over the course of a month, they drop 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 12 pounds. Plus, they're getting stronger from what they're doing in the gym. That's what happens when you have structure when you're working out. If you're working out right now, you're not consistently making progress, you're winging it. You're working out, but you need to be training because when you train, you know exactly what exercise to do. You know how many reps to do. You know how much rest time to have. You know what type of cardio to do, what speed, for how long. This is training. This is how you can have two people. One person, they drop 30 pounds and it take them a year plus. The other person who has structure, take them 3 months. I got coaching clients dropping 25, 30, 35 plus pounds in 3 months because they have structure. They're no better than you guys. No better. They just have structure. Okay. Um, so that's the second thing. Especially if you want to look good in your clothes. And when you take your clothes off, you want to be able to have some definition. You want to have some tone. Guys, you have to train. You have to hit the weights. You can't just be doing cardio, else you go lose weight and look skinny fat. All right. And then the last thing is this: you have to have a plan when it comes to training and nutrition that aligns with you, your life, your goals, what you're working towards. Okay. And so if you're doing diets where you have to give up foods that you know you really enjoy eating, what's going to happen when you start back eating it? If you're doing a workout plan where you're working out two times a day or every day of the week, but you know deep down you really don't want to do that, what's going to happen when you stop? You're going to gain weight back. And so you have to have something that is sustainable. And being able to have something that's sustainable requires having something that fits you, something that is tailored to you. That's what I call alignment. If you've done a meal plan, a diet plan, and you fell off because you just couldn't stick with it, that means the plan was out of alignment with what you were trying to accomplish. Okay. But when you get in alignment and you have a plan that shows you how to eat the foods you prefer to eat, the amount that you need to eat, the amount of meals you need to eat, the amount of times you need to work out at the gym, that supports your schedule, and the amount of time you can be in the gym. Now, this is how you get results and keep them, man. This is how you get rid of belly fat. This is how you have a flat stomach. Stomach be on flat, flat, or even abs if that's what you want. But you have to have that structure and you have to have the right strategy that aligns with your goals and situation. When you get this, guys, this is how you get rid of visceral fat. So you're proud and confident about how your body looking. You have more energy. You're stress free and worry free when it comes to health issues like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. What else? Sleep apnea, erectile dysfunction. It's a lot. So it's way more than just image. You got to take care of your health. You got to be thinking about what's life going to look like a year, 5 years, 10 years from now if you don't start making some changes. Things don't just stay the same, guys. They either get better or they get worse. And so these are the steps you want to start taking to fix the issue, not just sweep it up underneath the rug and hope that it gets better at some point. No, be proactive. The people who are proactive doesn't mean you got to get it perfect. The people who are proactive and they focus on progress, they focus on, let me get some structure to build on and to gain some momentum with what I'm doing. These are the people who succeed. Same people who are in my program who drop 20, 30, 35 pounds in 3 months, they end up dropping 40, 50, 60 pounds in 6 months. They not like working out extremely hard. No, it just compounds over time. They're progressing. And the same thing can happen for you guys too. All right. Hopefully y'all found this helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like structure, you would like some support from me where I give you a step-by-step plan that fits you to remove the guesswork, to remove the hoping and the stressing and, oh my God, I don't know if it's going to work. I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way you can explore the option and opportunity of us working together. All right. Trisha, what's up? Always love your family. 100%. Gotta do that. Mhm. Yeah, man. All right, y'all. We out of here. Let's get it. Peace.